been a long time that this team has really been able to roll with the same defensive pairings, really basically the whole year. But now it looks like things are going to get a little shaken up. How maybe important is it to sort of try something new as you guys are trying to find your footing as a team right now?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's, the coaches are trying to get us going a little bit, and at the end of the day, ultimately, that's on us. We know that, like, it comes from within. So, yeah, I think the change might, freshen things up, and we're excited for it.
And for you, what do you think it'll be like playing with Luke and the style that he plays?
Yeah, he's obviously, you guys can see, he's super skilled offensively. Hopefully I can be a nice contrast to that, and take care of our own zone and support him up the ice in the O zone, and hopefully give him that freedom to be the player he can be.
What is the mentality going into a game like that? You guys have played them twice in the last 2 weeks. You were playing them in your last game. You know what happened. What is it kind of like going into this one for you guys?
Yeah, we know that as a group we want to be up our compete level a bit. I think that's been the message for us. They've been playing hard, and there've been tight games, and in those tight games, it's a little battle here or there that may not look like a lot, but that's what ends up being the difference in the game. And then ultimately we've dropped both of these guys in regulation, so it's on us to win those little battles and to come up with those pucks and then come up with a win tonight.
So it would be fair to say you guys have not shown them the best of who you are.
Yeah, for sure.
John, for a team that blocks a lot of shots, the Flyers do have a propensity of doing that under Torts. What can the team do to maybe offset that at all, if there's anything at all? I mean, you guys are generating chances, but they're blocking a lot of the good chances as well.
Yeah, they do a really good job clogging up the lane and clogging up the middle of the ice. So it's about kind of finding different lanes of attack. Maybe we can make a pass and then shoot quicker off the pass, as opposed to holding it and letting them kind of get their layers. Because a lot of times too, we might get it by their first layer, their second, third layer blocks a shot. So if we can kind of change the angle, whether it be a pass or with our feet, maybe something like that. But that's an area of emphasis for tonight for sure.
Playing with Luke, does anything individually change for you in terms of that style?
Individually, not really. Well, I can't really say not really. Obviously, things are going to be different. So I want to make sure I'm, being solid defensively and reading. He likes to join the rush. He likes to get involved in the O zone. So reading when he's doing that, maybe being a little more extra conservative as he's, making his offensive plays.
Bas, obviously good to see you out there after that hit. Just your thoughts on that moment and how are you feeling now?
I'm happy. I'm okay. I was worried about my jaw for a second. I don't like the spot I put myself in, and when you say be aware who's on the ice, it's not just their top line; it's guys like that. So yeah, I think the hit was fine, and I didn't lose sleep because I thought it was bad. I was just mad at myself.
I was going to say, I'm probably really thankful that your jaw is okay after all that.
Yeah, that would have sucked. That would have really sucked. Those were some dark days when I was going through that, and if that had happened again, I don't know if I thank the bubble for that or not, but I'm happy I can put that behind me.
Safe to say that in the time that you guys have played the Flyers over the last 2.5 weeks or so, you guys have not by any ways shown them your best?
Yeah, you'd think these division games you'd be able to kind of get up for and give your best. For whatever reason, we've struggled a little bit, so I think you can assume that was talked about earlier today, and hopefully it's a little bit different tonight.
What's the mindset of the team when you're without your captain and a guy who's really good in the face-off circle?
It's different. It's a guy we lean on for so much, and whether it's the power play, PK, 4-on-4, end of the game, start of the game, who to go to for a voice, it's Nico, right? So when he's gone, you need a collection of guys to step up, probably everyone, not just a few. So hopefully in times like that, we can kind of come together and show that we can miss our top guys and we're still the team that we are. So.
Because they were checking the jaw.
Yeah, they were just being careful.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. I was fine right from the get-go. Ideally, I came right back, but I was just trying to do their job. So, no, I'm happy. I'm all good. Don't worry about me.
Tat's career game 900 tonight. What do you think about when I say that number?
It's a lot of games, but I don't really, that wasn't my main focus, coming here. I want to focus on a team. these kind of milestones just come along with that. So, I'm not going to try to think about it at all. Just, try to focus on win a game.
Can I ask you about your career then, even though I know you're focused on, I know you're not thinking about, but what do you remember maybe from that first time you come over, you're from Slovakia? Could you have ever imagined that all these years later you'd still be here?
No, obviously it was a dream, to play as, to make it to the NHL first and then remain here the longest. I mean, become a reality. Just try to be a pro, do all the right things, to stay in the league and help your teammates and help the team to be successful. So, like I said, those games, those milestones comes with it. It's just going to be another day, and like I said, focusing more on the team.
One of the things that you look at sort of the teams that you've played for the most with the Red Wings, but the second most is here in New Jersey, and I know how much it meant to you to come back here. What is it like, being here, and maybe, this is the club that you played the second most for?
Yeah, I wouldn't know that, without you telling me. Yeah.
Because it appears to be an impactful place for you, is my impression.
Yeah, it is for sure. You're picking up the friendships, here what are going to probably last lifelong, and we had that, successful season here. You've seen the guys, develop. You become close with them, and you want the organization and the fans, to do well. So it attached to your heart for sure, and the spend time, here becomes meaningful.
One last question. Obviously, big milestone game for you, but third time you're playing Philadelphia in a short amount of time. How important is this divisional game to kind of get back on track?
Yes, absolutely. We've been talking about it. I think our two games against them weren't good for us. We want to be a lot better. It felt like we didn't do enough good job against them. So we have a certain goal to set for tonight, and we'll do everything we can to take the 2 points from them.
Sheldon, you've really had the luxury for most of the season to keep your defensive pairings together. Last game we saw a bit of a shakeup. Looks like you might go that way. How much of a luxury was that? And then how important is it maybe sometimes to make this change that you're doing?
Yeah, the guys have been, consistently good. But just like we saw with our forward groups, there comes a time when you need to look at something else, and sometimes that can help kind of shake your team up a little bit and get their attention and get things to sort of snap back into place. And that might mean that you put them back, but we know what works and what has worked. So it's a chance to try something a little different and see what it brings.
Dougie has really been coming along offensively in the last couple. What are you seeing from him right now in trusting his offensive side of the puck?
Yeah, obviously, just getting shots through, being willing to shoot, and trusting himself to unload it. Us putting him in spots to utilize it, be it 5-on-5 or power play. But I just see a guy who's been getting to his spot, and when he is there, he's firing away. So we need more of that.
How's Nico doing today? Do you have a bit of an update?
Yeah, he's obviously not available. It's going to be week to week. Something I think they'll evaluate again next week and then take it from there. But he won't be available this week for sure.
Tatar's playing his 900th game. What's been his importance to this group so far?
I think Tuva's played really good hockey here of late. Last game I wouldn't put in that category, but the last stretch he's really come on. So it's, at times he's played very, very well for us. But what has been consistent is his approach every day. He comes with a great attitude, great approach to the game. Very much wants to serve the team and have success with the team. So I think he's at a stage in his career where he recognizes that he's just got to look for a role and latch onto it. And from what I've asked for him and the conversations I've had, they've been very encouraging. And as I said, he's been one of our more productive players at 5-on-5 here of late, and his line has been very, very good. So that's a credit to him, just kind of staying with it, and finding his way out of a bit of a funk that he was in there for a while through December.
Battle drills during the morning skate, getting net front position, trying to box out things like that. Is that an area that you've seen has slipped dramatically, or is it just a
general reminder, like that's part of the game?
Well, it's a general reminder, probably reflective of the fact that we've opted to not practice here in the last while. In Philadelphia, we had a scheduled practice that after getting there from Montreal at 3 in the morning, we opted to not practice and just have meetings and work out at the hotel, and then coming home the other night somewhat late again from Philly and the end of a 4-day road trip. I knew I was going to have to push the group pretty hard from an intensity standpoint, and just chose to do it coming after a full day rest rather than bring them back in and then trying to push through it tired and coming back to the rink tired today. So no excuses. We're refreshed, and we needed to get in some competitive work. That it was an area that was really lacking for me the other night and was disappointing. So I expect us to be a lot better in that way. And I approached it. It was not a morning skate today. It was a morning practice, and then let's carry that forward to the game. That's just kind of a way of managing the schedule. Like you got to make these decisions a lot, between rest and practice time, and this season in particular with the condensed schedule and such. So that's the decision that we made, and I like what we got out of it, and hope it benefits us tonight.
Sheldon, against a team that has a propensity to block a lot of shots, that's a torch coach team. What can maybe you do to offset that when those – and it's not like you didn't have chances the last couple games, but to offset all these block shots that are happening you want to create.
Yeah, you got to shoot the puck quicker. You got to shoot the puck in less than ideal circumstances. You can't just wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect shot. You got to be decisive with it. Some deception when the lane is closed. That's all part of it. But you got to recognize too that's going to be part of the game. It's going to make it hard on you to do that. So you got to capitalize on your looks. I mean, we had 3 or 4 2-on-1s the other night, and some really clean shots at the goalie, and didn't make it work. At 4-on-4, we had 2 of our best scoring chances. It was where it's a little bit easier to get access to the net at 4-on-4, and we got those looks and didn't capitalize. So that's all part of it. You got to execute there, and then if it's going to be hard to get to the net, then you can't be given the opposition a 2-0 lead in the first period. So that's all stuff for us to manage and be better at tonight.
Coach, Jack practiced this morning. Does that mean there's improvement on his finger?
Yeah, lots. Yeah, he's working his way back to being 100%. So it's just like I said, it's just the cut and the pain associated with it. It's a pretty nasty cut, not your typical cut. They kind of sewed it all back together and for him, but looks like he's coming around the other side of it.
You had Palat on the first power play with Nico out last game. Has there been any consideration to move Timo Meier in that position as well?
Yeah, we have that. We have that conversation. We have some adjustment in mind, but we've seen Timo on that first unit and early in the season didn't like it, and we also we need some help on the second unit too. So that's all part of it. But we'll continue to look at it. But Pally will be there to start again tonight. But we gotta be better. Actually, I thought looking at it back, the first unit was a lot better than I thought. Actually, looking at it back, the second unit was not good at all. And having the 4-minute power play as much as we did, we had to lean on the second unit. So taking away from that unit doesn't appeal to me too much at this point. So we'll trust the first group to get it going tonight.
Fair to say that Philadelphia played a role in the last 2 games, right? They're trying to, but what haven't you done where the Devils haven't been able to get to their game for long enough stretches?
The 2 games I think are a little different. In the first game we played in here, we just, we didn't execute and didn't play with enough pace coming out of our end through the neutral zone. So we just, we didn't get any real opportunities to the net. So I think we had 13 shots in that game. That was just, a game that was just disjointed, and they were structured enough that you're not going to get anything to the net. I didn't think we had any shortage of chances and shots to the net. Maybe you'd like to get more for sure, but less of that. I just thought competitively in different spots in the game we weren't good enough, in particular coming out of that 4-minute power play where we had a chance to really grab a hold of the game. So it's a little bit different there. And listen, you're playing games here without key players. You gotta hold the fort at 5-on-5, and you gotta win the game on special teams. We've got, you put our power play and penalty kill together. We're the best team in the NHL on special teams. It's got to win us games, especially right now. And to me, lost us the game the other night, and that's not good enough. That is not going to help us overcome, the adversity that we got. So that's all part of it. And to me, that was the story of Game 2, not so much Game 1.